thank you for that delicious lunch. But I know that, you guys have had a lot of information, and so I really do want to make this very interactive. And we're going to have some activities for you guys to do, and those that participate can come up and choose either chocolate, although I know everyone doesn't like chocolate, so I have some salty options as well, so you can do that. But I do want to first know how many of you were at Texas Regional Honors. It was just in Tyler, Texas. Okay, most of you. Okay, a few that didn't. How many of you were at our International Honors Institute in San Diego? Okay, all right. I'm going to guess that you guys are pretty well versed in honors in action, all right? So I do want to make sure, I didn't get a lot of head nods there, so maybe you're not. I will say this, I definitely think that, we can kind of do a quick overview and a review, but I really want to give you time to start writing, even if you're just imaginary writing at this point in terms of the imaginary project writing. But I also want to give you time to ask questions and get the wisdom of the group, not just me, as a headquarters rep, but there's a lot of wisdom in this audience, in this room right now. And so if you've got some muddiest point questions or just some things that you really need to know or have been curious about, go ahead and jot them down, and we will have an opportunity for you to ask those questions, okay? So know that this is not going to be just me talking at you. I really do want you to participate. And if you have a smartphone, you already have it out and you're already using it, you're going to really need to use it for this one. And even if you don't have one, as long as somebody at the table has it, you're good. So don't stress out if you left it in the car or something. Okay, so let me get the clicker here. Okay, so remember Honors in Action Project, really trying to give you experience in problem solving, but first, before you solve problems, you're going to do some critical thinking. So again, just an overview that you're going to be identifying a real world issue, confronting humanity. You're going to investigate it from varied perspectives, not just one person's or group's beliefs or opinions, but to really look at all sides of an issue. And then you're going to apply that knowledge to improve the issue. So you're not learning just for the sake of learning, but you're actually trying to make a difference about a particular issue that affects your community. Remember I said that Honors in Action is a process that can be applied to anything. That idea of doing your homework first, etc. But for the Honors in Action Project Award, it has to relate to our honors study topic. And then if you're curious about this, I don't know that I said this before, and I really, really want to emphasize it. Some of you may be thinking, this is an extremely comprehensive project, and we've got a lot on our plates. It is a comprehensive project, and I want you to understand why it's comprehensive. For some colleges, Phi Theta Kappa is their honors program. Not all colleges, but for quite a few, we are the honors program. And we also want to make sure that the world understands that community college students are college students. There is, certainly still some that believe community college is 13th grade. We are not. I think everyone in this room knows that. We know that you're fully capable of this work. And we believe that so strongly that we now have an undergraduate research journal to publish the exceptional work done by community college students, particularly Phi Theta Kappa chapters. So when we're talking about Honors in Action, and we will kind of go over this here in a minute, think about some of the activities, the knowledge, the skills, and abilities that you're gaining, and make sure that you're able to articulate that when you are writing up scholarship applications or going to job interviews or trying to get, maybe a collaborator with your projects. You guys have an amazing arsenal of experience that you can use to really give yourself a competitive edge. Okay, so make sure you have your smartphones out. Here is, as you all know, hopefully you dream about transformations at this point, acknowledging, assessing, and achieving change. This is the final few months of this particular honors study topic. So we feel like it's been great. It feels like it's flown by, but we are already preparing the next honors study topic. It will be released officially in January. Although advisors in the room, please know that our faculty scholar application is now open, and the deadline for that is October 23rd. So if you'd like to join us as a seminar leader at our next Honors Institute in Chicago next June, please, please, please consider applying. We'd love to have your application. And it can be faculty or staff or administrator. You do not have to be a faculty member to be a faculty scholar. Okay, so these are some of the elements you may remember that allows us, this is the criteria we use to come up with an honor study topic. And notice that in the news is definitely part of that criteria. Okay. These are the current 9 themes that relate to transformations. So, you know, we try to be as inclusive of other majors as possible. Years past, I know we were kind of accused of it just strictly being a humanities or social science take, and we really are trying to make sure that any student, workforce, career tech, STEM major, business, etc., can see themselves in new things and to really be able to latch on to something that they're passionate about. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to have your smartphones out, and you can do this, if you want to do it as a table, that's fine, you can do it individually, but I want you to come up with, starting with theme 1, networks of life, one article or something in the news, so anything on a website, credible news organization, please. But anything that you think relates to networks of life. And if you're needing more information, you can pull up the actual honors program guide. In fact, I'll go back and get on me. But it is online. If you go to ptk.org/honors, and you'll see the link for it. So if you need to read more information about that, you can do that. But let's give like 4 or 5 minutes on this one, just in case you guys want to, because I do highly recommend that you make sure you understand what networks of life is before you tell us your article. Okay? One news article? Okay. All right, so networks of life, if you didn't look it up, I'm going to read the overarching question just so you can make sure, because I would like just 2 or 3 of you to share. Networks of life question is, how do relationships among organisms, their environments, and the systems in which they exist transform each other? So who would like to share a news headline, if you will? Oh, and Kevin is also. He has a mic, so.
The world is running out of sand, and there is even a black market for it. Thank you.
So, where did you find it? What website? Do you remember? Global News. Okay. Look at you doing the global. Thank you, International Honor Study topic, right? Okay, great. Okay. Is it on?
Declining bee populations pose a threat to global agriculture.
Declining what population? Bee populations, absolutely. That's really good. One more, and then we'll move to 2. Either one. Again, it's up to you.
Gender, migration, and social transformation, intersectionality in Bolivian itinerant migrations.
Okay, say that one more time. I didn't quite catch it all. That sounds like a scholarly journal article. What?
gender, migration, and social transformation, intersectionality in Bolivian itinerant migrations.
Okay, so gender, is that what you said?
Yeah, gender.
Okay, huh. Yeah, I might would put that under, well, no, I think it could actually apply to more than one, so, okay. So points for getting one that's several themes there, so thank you guys. All right, theme 2 is economies of everything. Again, make sure you read exactly what we're talking about and then search for a news article. We're not looking for a scholar source, just so you know. I didn't clarify that earlier, but something in the news. Be someone who hasn't already gone, because as I failed to say, we just caught up with everybody. If you're called upon and give an answer, you get to come up and choose a snack. So, okay.
First ever America's LGBT Economy Report suggests LGBT businesses add $1.7 trillion to U.S. economy.
What news source was it? PR Newswire. Okay, well, that's a very interesting segment. That's probably something that you wouldn't have necessarily would not have been tracked, right? Maybe 10 years ago. So that's really good. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. It says I had this table before.
The cost effectiveness of conservation payments. International donors invest billions of dollars to conserve ecosystems in low-income nations.
Okay, so conservation payments related to. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, that's really good. Okay, I'll go to this.
Turkey calls on U.S. to lift barriers to boost trade.
Definitely international trade, the economies of everything. Okay, the ones that gave a response, please choose a stack, and we are ready for theme 3. So choose a news article that relates to that. And I'm going to make it a little bit harder this time. I want you to give more of an explanation instead of just the title. Okay, I mean, very briefly. But don't just look up the, do a little bit of, read at least the first few paragraphs of the article so you can talk a little bit about how you think it relates to transformations. Okay? Research that does include international sources or articles. I'm just curious, and I threw that out there to you guys, so it doesn't have to just be you guys answering. But I just want to know what you think about that. Should you take the time to look at international sources or news from around the world, so to speak? What do you think? We have a yes and a no right here. Yes? Who was saying, yeah, you want to speak? You want to speak? Okay, yes. Just one example of why that would be good. Is it? Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't want to speak. Because it could be something that grows into a different community and it continues and passes on. So you could be understanding maybe a trend, perhaps, something that, isn't just you make, especially in the United States, we can be sort of insular. I mean, we have a tendency to just think about what's happening in our community, in our world, which is just to the borders of sometimes our state or even county to some, for some people. So yes, looking internationally doesn't mean that your action component is going to have to include an international, although that's not beyond the scope. You certainly could, but it is good. And we do want to emphasize that this is a global honor study topic. This is not something that's chosen that just relates to a certain region of the country or one nation. Okay, we have one. Oh, sorry. Did you want to add to that? Or Okay, yes.
I was just gonna say that globally also affects us because everything circulates and we're all interconnected in one way or another. And so as you're researching stuff and you look at it, you're looking at not just your perspective, but other perspectives. And when you look at it in different perspectives, you think of things differently, but you also relate humanly and otherwise to other things outside of just yourself. So it is very important to research globally.
Very well said. That's, you know, when they talk about, that's one of the benefits of travel, but we're not always able to travel, right? So this is really key. Okay, thank you guys for paying attention, because I know it's the afternoon, and, you know, especially when I say use your smartphones, it's hard to put that down when you're done, but I really do appreciate it. And again, I just want to emphasize, you're learning from each other, okay? This is not just me teaching you, this is you guys sharing. Okay, I think we had one more, and I haven't been, was there another? Okay, I haven't been back to this table after the first time, so. Okay, so the other tables, draw notice for table 4.
Yes. Okay. Transgender boy wins girls state wrestling title for second time. And this is controversial because the hormone treatments that this person's going through, they're thinking it puts them at an unfair advantage against girls. And the problem is this athlete wants to compete against the boys, but they won't let him because of what the birth certificate says. So we've got the controversy there of that.
That's a great example of multiple sides of an issue. So there's definitely not just a either or pro or con. There's a lot of different aspects to that issue. And you'll find that with a lot of topics. Okay, theme 4. This time you're going to have to use a scholarly source. Just to mix it up a little bit. So a scholarly source that relates to dynamics of discovery. This is more of a STEM topic, so I think you'll be. Okay, guys, we're going to make sure we mix up the slides. Oh yes, if you haven't already been up to get your stack, please do so. I'm failing to follow up with that. So just know if you give an answer, you can help yourself. Okay, dynamics of discovery. Who can tell me what that refers to? I'll let you.
We found an example of medical.
Sorry, I got you off track there. Not ready for that. Dynamics of discovery. I just want you to, and it can be someone else, since I want to hear in layman's terms, what does dynamics of discovery refer to as it relates to transformations? Do you have your hand up yet?
I feel like it's how methods of research change the way we change the methods. Yes, so you want me to repeat that again? Okay, how institutional values hamper innovation, the case of animal testing. I don't want to go into details, but it explains how animal testing is changing the way we view the world and the way we do. Yes. If it's ethical, if it's not, and what it was and what not. Technological forecasting and social change. That's the article. By Marcus Huitman, Marco Eckert, names that I can't pronounce. It was from Scholar Google. Yes, it's a scholarly research. Yes, it was. In this case, it was I couldn't really go into details to make sure that it was peer reviewed or not. I couldn't get into those details, but it's recent. It's from 2017. That's something I made sure. And this is the website. This is Science Direct. It's published, yes.
One of the things that distinguishes a scholarly journal article is when it has a work cited or bibliography, and so that's one element. Obviously, if you're going through a scholarly database, that narrows it down. Okay, but keep in mind that there are going to be some articles, for example, a book review in a scholarly journal that would not be considered a scholarly article. Just because it's in a journal doesn't mean that it's automatically an academic source. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that was a great example. Now, Kenneth, who's got our next one?
Okay, I got one. Does pressing a button make it easier to pass an exam? Evaluating the effectiveness of interactive technologies in higher education. So the aim of this paper is to evaluate how audience response systems, ARS, technology may increase improvements in academic performance in higher education, using the first year of administration and business management degree courses at the University of Seville, Spain, as a case study. The experiment assesses whether the use of ARS, audience response system, increases the likelihood that students will pass the final exam in their subject of principles of economics.
Okay. So what were...
And it goes on further.
What were some of your search words that you used to get to that?
Technology and research.
Okay, all right, and then what was the name of the journal? Our scholarly source.
It's British Journal of Education Technology.
Okay, all right. So you feel pretty confident that that's a peer-reviewed journal for all?
Oh, I know it is because I used peer-reviewed journal research search engine.
Okay, all right. So again, double check. These are just, we're not giving you a lot of time, but I'm just giving you some very specific questions so that you're double checking your academic sources. Okay, one more. Don't forget to get your snack.
Okay, the source is Society for Information Technology and Teacher Education International Conference, pages 38 through 41 in 1994. And the title is Intentions and Implementations, the Impact of Technology Coursework in Elementary Classrooms. And it is to positively impact kindergarten through 12th education by encouraging the effective use of technology in school classrooms.
Okay, all right. So you said it was from 1994? Yeah, that's okay. I'm glad you brought that up because that's another excellent point. Generally speaking, you're going to want to use articles that are within 5 years, but it is okay to use a scholarly source that's older than that, particularly if it's a sort of foundational research piece, especially if it's a book or more of a work from someone who has maybe been a pioneer in that particular field, then that is okay. There are definitely sources that are going to be older, much older, that would still be acceptable. But generally speaking, especially for scholarly journals, within the last 5 years. Okay. All right, channels of creativity. So now I want you to, and I'll give you a moment to think about this, and you can, do a search too. But for channels of creativity, I want you to come up with the name of a performer who got their start on YouTube. Okay? So there you go. You've got a couple minutes, probably less than that. Already been called upon, raise your hand if you have an answer for this one. If you haven't already been called upon. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay. Yeah. It could be for the same table. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. How about that? 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Who is your performer?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Yep, I knew that. Okay. All right. Now, where's your source? Because I think that is pretty widely known. But
ABC News.
ABC News. Okay, that seems pretty trustworthy. So we'll accept that. Okay. Now, before we hear the next two, two, tell me why that would relate to transformations and channels of creativity. Because remember, we're always going to go back to not just the creativity theme, but the idea of a transformation for an honors and action project. Sometimes people just jump off on the theme and they forget transformation. So why is that? Why is a YouTube discovered performance represent a transformation?
Well, I know many years ago in the 50s, a lot of people had to get their start through a lot of hard work and had to go talk to all these talent agencies, and these went years and years. We found that Justin Bieber was accidentally found by Usher, immediately overnight became a pop star. Was very weird compared to like how he used to become famous.
Okay, so the whole platform of how someone even presents themselves as a singer has changed. Is that fair to say? Okay, so that's definitely a transformation. All right, okay, who's got our next performer? Okay, ready?
5 seconds of summer.
5 seconds of summer. Okay, all right, what's your source?
Teen Vogue.
Teen Vogue. I was going to say I bet my granddaughter could. So, okay, all right, 5 seconds of summer and Teen Vogue. Anyone else? Okay, we got this one. That's right. You already said it, dude. Okay, is it a different one?
Yeah, The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. That's right. That's right. So he was. What's your source on?
Complex.com. Complex.com.
Okay, all right. So that, I think that I know enough, certainly so. Okay, all right. So next we have Visions of Justice, and we'll go back to, well, let's do this. Now you have to find a book that relates to Visions of Justice. Make sure you read the article that describes the theme first, okay? So now it's a book.